The state is requesting a final order that is similar to the temporary order, where we're requesting that the judge take judicial notice of the acknowledgement of paternity that is attached as Exhibit A to the petition, and it's found in the temporary order that Mr. Miller is the father of the child with a duty to support. There is a non-disclosure finding in the temporary order. We would like that to continue. The temporary order does not set geographic restrictions. The temporary order sets his net monthly resources at $4,231.68, and it sets his monthly child support payment at $846, and that began on June 1st, 2024. The guideline percentage should be 20 because there's only one child. Now, one issue is the retroactive. They do not agree on the date of separation. He says it's in November of 2023, and she says it is in July of 2023. So I calculated both retroactive repayment amounts. The 7 months is $5,922 with a repayment amount at $80, and the 10 months is $8,490 with a repayment amount of $92 per month. We're requesting a appropriate finding on court costs because he's in the military, but he's also in the military. And we're not requesting medical or dental because from the temporary orders, Mr. Miller is providing healthcare through TRICARE. And then the state has no position on possession and access as per usual, and Ms. Kuschek could weigh in on that, Your Honor. That's it.
Okay. All right, sir, write down that information. All right, thank you. Ms. Kuschek. You muted, ma'am. Yeah, it does that.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, I agree with what Ms. Betzler said. As far as all the numbers, I think that'll work itself out. The dispute about the retroactive support, there was an incident that happened in July of 2023. Mother's testimony will likely be that that's when she moved or she went to stay with her dad somewhere. And then she came back and went to move things out in November of 2023. Mr. Miller will likely say that she did not move out until November of 2023. So that's the dispute on the retroactive child support. As far as child issues, so Sabrina is 2 years old. She has spent most of her, like the last year, she really does not have any real contact lately, or not lately, but just, since she was an infant, with father. So it's kind of tricky on the visitation front. As far as conservatorship goes, I believe that both parties have allegations against the other of domestic violence. They're in different levels of proof. There are some police reports. I believe Mr. Miller has presented a police report. Ms. Ford has some testimony as well. There's also a military protective order against Mr. Miller, and it's an indefinite one, and it protects both the mother and the child. So there are, different levels of family violence in this case. I would ask for there to be non-disclosure. I'm going to go through some of the incidents involving family violence. So if the court feels that those establish family violence, I believe we're looking at a sole managing conservatorship, possessory conservatorship situation. As far as visitation goes, I do have concerns. Some of it has to do with the family violence, but some of it just has to do also with the ability to prioritize her safety. And I'll kind of go into that a little bit as I question the parties. So at this point, I don't see it as something that goes beyond supervised at this point. Since there is family violence, that also presents an issue because it's not going to be a traditional supervised where one party can supervise the other party. So I believe we would have to use a supervision center. Ms. Ford found a supervised visitation center closer to where she is. She's not in Bell County. I won't go into where she is because of the disclosure issues, but there is a supervision center through Tarrant County in Fort Worth, and it's the website is tarrantcounty.gov, so I'm guessing it's affiliated through the county. And so it provides supervised visitation, as in parties show up at different doors, and then the visitation with the child is supervised. It also, at some point, establishes a place where parties can go and just do supervised exchanges as well. I do also think a safe way to try to facilitate contact between the dad and the child would also be video, phone or video, not really phone yet because she's 2, but video where he can see her and she can see him. But then obviously that would be in a safer situation. She is actually for 2. I have not met with her because she's so young, but I've seen her when she's been with mom. She's very verbal for a 2-year-old, but not enough to carry on a 20-minute conversation with the other parent, obviously. So that's kind of where we are on the conservatorship and the visitation. I agree that there should be non-disclosure, that both parties should have to communicate. I don't know if they've been using app close or not, but I would obviously encourage that and have that as the primary way for them to communicate. And I believe those are the key issues, Judge.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Kuzak, Ms. Bexler. All right, Ms. Ford and Mr. Miller, both please unmute yourselves, turn on your videos, and raise your right hands. I'm gonna go ahead and swear you guys in, and then we're going to go ahead and I'll let the attorneys ask questions. And again, like at the end of the questioning, I'll allow y'all to make tell the court in your own words anything in addition you think I need to know, so long as it's relevant to what we're doing here today. So at this time, like I say, both, ma'am, you need to unmute yourself and raise your right hands, please. Thank you. All right, do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
I do.
All right, you're both officially under oath. You want to go ahead and turn on your videos, that's fine. That'll help with the bandwidth. If there's a bandwidth problem where you are, all I need is the audio recording and we're good to go. So at this time, I'll go ahead and let the state call their first witness, or if the state wishes to, let the state call their first witness, or if you want to go ahead and let the headline do it, you can do so, Ms. Spencer. Just left up to you. Thank you.
Ms. Kuzak, do you want to call the witness first, or shall I?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thanks. I'll call Rain Ford. Ms. Ford, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes.
Okay. So you are Sabrina's mother, correct?
Yes.
When was Sabrina born?
June 27, 2023 at 3 a.m.
Okay. So she's 2 years old. She's, as I pointed out, she's verbal and kind of verbal. Working on complete sentences, right? And you're on
Yes.
mute.
Sorry, I was muting it because she's screaming in her room.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't hear her right now, so
Okay.
we're good. So since birth, who has Sabrina lived with?
Me.
Okay. She lived with father and you for a short period, correct?
Yes.
Your testimony is that you lived with father when she was born, correct?
Yes.
And so when do you is your testimony that you separated from Mr.
So originally got the part
without going into the incident yet, but there
Right,
was an incident, right?
Right. So the apartment that I got, he was gone to NTC. We got it in Killeen at 1312 Wells Drive. And that apartment we lived in I lived there from June 14th to July 21st, 2023. And that's when I left and went to Mississippi with my dad.
Okay. So you stayed in Mississippi with your dad from July 21st of 2023 until when?
About October, November. Like
Okay.
it was, I would say between that, I can't specifically remember like when. I just know that it was my birthday is October 19th, so I do remember I was in Killeen around on that time.
Okay. And then after, so in that time period, when you came back to Killeen, where were you living?
Came back to the apartment. I was getting help from a domestic violence center in Killeen, and they said I had to be back in Killeen in order to get assistance with them.
Okay, how long were you in that apartment in Killeen before you moved out?
I know the move out date or leaving officially was November 8th, 2023. So I would say between that October, November span. I can't
So,
examine any exact days. I apologize.
okay, so is it your testimony? So when you said that the separation date was July 21st of 2023, there was also a month where you were back in the apartment before you qualified for placement at the shelter.
Yes.
Okay. So then in November you began living or staying at the shelter, and then since that time have you lived with Mr. Miller at all?
No.
Okay. Going back over some of the incidents that have been alleged, have there been incidents where you feel that family violence has occurred?
Yes.
Okay. There was an incident that happened on July 21st of 2023, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so in that incident, were you actually arrested?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
What happened? What happened without, you know, I mean, kind of give us an idea of
So
the-
up until that time, I apologize, Sabrina's talking. That's why I keep muting. But so when it happened that particular time, I was 3 months not 3 months, 3 weeks postpartum from a C-section that I had having Sabrina. So I was really bedridden, really wasn't getting up much. That particular incident, Mr. Miller was still being told to come back to base because his paternal leave was not actually approved yet. And so he was day drinking as normal. He was playing his game, being super loud. I was trying to put the baby down for a nap because I was going through postpartum depression. And I asked my friend to come get me because I was losing my mind and it was just stressful. So I was trying to put her down for a nap, music blasting. I was texting him repeatedly, asking him to cut down the music. It got to the point that I went in the front living room asking him, could you just cut it down? It ensued an argument. I left out. I was gonna walk away from it, but I was like, no, like I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I just want to put her down so I can take a shower and leave. And so he was actually getting ready to leave to go back on base because obviously his leave was not approved yet. And he was still actively drinking. And so I asked him, well, since you're leaving, why not just cut down the music? You're not like you're leaving. There's no point of you playing the music. And so it of course ensued an argument. And he said that once I left out the room, if I left him alone, he would cut down the music. And I was like, I already left and you kept it up. So he left the living room area and his phone was on the couch. I grabbed his phone to cut down the volume on the phone.
Let me stop you. So he was streaming through his phone, right?
Yes. So it's
Okay.
a speaker. He was using a speaker, a very loud speaker. And so I was cutting it down. And as I'm trying to cut down the phone, he runs to where I'm at and I'm holding Sabrina in my arm and I'm using my other hand to cut down the music. And he grabs me. And the day before that, we had already gotten to a physical altercation while I was holding Sabrina. So I like moved him to get him off of me. And when I did that to get him off of me, I guess struck him in the face and I didn't mean to. And so it went from there to him pushing. We had a bookshelf in our living, though it's like built into the wall. He pushed me into the bookshelf while I'm holding Sabrina. Her head hits the bookshelf. She starts crying and screaming, and I'm begging him to stop because I'm holding the baby. Does not stop. He throws me onto the couch, the long part, because we had a sectional couch. He throws me to the couch, and I try to get Sabrina away from me. So I kind of like tossed her because it's a long couch away from me, so she's not in harm's way. And he gets on top of me and he starts strangling me. And I'm crying and I'm begging him to stop because I'm looking where I can literally see Sabrina laying on her back watching me, and she's screaming. And as a new mother, her cries hurt me. So I'm just begging him to let me go so I can get to her. And as I'm trying to talk to him, he's gripping really tighter into my neck. So I had like bruises and marks and like nail marks in my neck. And at that point, I realized like he's not gonna stop. He's gonna kill me. And so I'm praying, and something I would say was God telling me to have to figure my way out of this. So I started trying to kick at him in his groin to get him off of me. And I did kick at him. And so when I did, he finally let me go ish a little bit. I try to turn over to grab Sabrina. So I'm on my stomach at this point. He drags me off the couch. And I put my hand in the couch because the way the sectional was made, that long piece was where it's long enough where she's away from me, but it's not long
Sorry,
enough
you
for
gotta
her.
be descriptive of the circumstances of the area. Just tell us what actually happened, please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I'm putting my hand in the couch to keep Sabrina from coming off the couch, because as he's pulling me off the couch, she's coming off with me. And so I'm trying to keep us both levered on the couch, and I'm screaming and asking him to stop. So he finally lets me go. I pick up Sabrina and I'm crying and I'm screaming and I'm telling him, get out. Like he's like, no, you get out, because he paid rent this month. And my sister had already been aware of everything, so she tells me to just call the police. And I did. As I'm calling the police, he's in the back room, he's calling the police as well. And that's when the police show up, and I'm crying. My friend who was coming to get me, she comes in, and the police is there, and they talked to him at the front door, and I'm in the back room crying. And so the ambulance, or the fire department, I would say, they came in to check Sabrina because of obviously her head got hit. And they were saying that, I can take her to the hospital to just get extra care if I feel the need to, but they don't see any like bleeding or immediate like of damage there. And so that's when the police talked to me, and they were like, he has like a strong, like a long gash, like a scratch on his face. And like, where did that come from? And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm showing them everything, my bruises, my marks. And I'm like, I don't know where that came from. And my friend, we're just trying to get an understanding. So they explained to me that they said in the state of Texas, because I touched his phone, that's a property issue. So that means that I set him off. And so for that being the reason, I'm the aggressor. So they took me to jail. And I was breastfeeding Sabrina. So they said that because there was no custody order in place, me being her mother, I have a right to say where she goes. And because of how the 3 weeks of me having her, he was not helping with her. He was drinking all day. I told them that only my friend could keep her. So my friend took her with her because she was at BLC. But she got a hotel. She told her command, and she got a hotel. She kept the baby. The police at the jail was trying to help me get out, and they called a judge in on his off day to come get me, like to talk and get me out, because I didn't have enough milk to last Sabrina the whole weekend, because it was a Friday. And they were like, it's probably possible I won't be able to get out till Monday. So I got out on a PR bond. The judge said I had to pay $50, I think, the next month. And I got out, and as soon as they all talked to me, and they told me as well that Mr. Miller came to the
Okay,
jail.
no, just stop. Don't say anything else anyone said. Just what you can't testify to something someone else said, all right?
No. I was saying that that Mr. Miller came to see me at the jail, tried to visit me while I was in jail at this
Okay,
event.
you can say anything he said, but don't say anything of the judge or the other
Right.
police
And
officers.
and so they promised and advised me not to go see, like to leave and be away from him. I agreed, that was the thing. I stayed in Killeen for about that was July 21st. I stayed in Killeen till, I would say, July 23rd, 24th. I hopped on a plane to Mississippi to go see my father, my command, when I was in the jail. After I got out, I made aware of, they already knew everything, but I explained how far this had escalated to the point.
Okay,
And so they helped
stop,
me get to
stop.
Mississippi.
I'm sorry. This is way too much of a narrative. This is
Right.
not the court's work, ma'am. We don't listen to stories. We listen to. I'll let the attorney call this one back a little bit and start asking specific questions. But you need to narrow your answers down. We don't let testimony go on for 2 straight minutes on just one item like that, ma'am. So again, listen to the question. Be very, very precise. She'll leave you alone, but do not go into a long narrative again, ma'am. I'm sorry, because I can't keep track, and it's not the proper way that we do testimony. So, Ms. Kuzak, ask her the next question.
Okay,
please.
thank you, Judge. I will. So, Ms. Ford, after that, your testimony is that you went to your dad's house, you said you weren't sure if it was maybe the 23rd or something like that, but you just know it was before the 25th, right?
Yes, because 25th is his birthday.
Okay. And so there were issues where y'all were talking and he was upset about that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you were gone, not in the household for several months, according
Yes.
to your side of the facts.
Yes.
And then you came back and you said like October or November or
Mhm.
October through November,
Mhm.
and then you went into the family violence shelter, right?
Yeah, well, specifically, I wasn't in a shelter. I'm sorry to make sure I was muted. I was in a hotel, but yes, they were assisting me.
Okay. And then after that, there have been other places where they have moved you, correct?
Yes.
Was there also a time when you were pregnant where there was an altercation and there was a gun involved?
Yes.
Okay. Without going too far into that, like, were you at your apartment?
I was so
What happened, like, for, very
I was
short?
in Killeen, so at the time, I had just moved out of my apartment. I had lived in Bryan, Texas for 3 years. And so I had just moved out of my apartment. I had AT. And so we had devised a plan that it would make sense as my lease was over in May, that it would be best for me to come in April because I had AT
Hey,
throughout that duration. So
again, ma'am, I don't need to know the background. I'm sorry, ma'am. I just need to know the specifics of the circumstances of the
right.
incident. Sorry, thank you.
Like, at your
So
apartment on that day, on the 28th.
So we were in that apartment was specifically Mr. Miller's. It was his own apartment. And
Okay,
so I'd came there, and so we were in that apartment for probably about like maybe a month, I would say, throughout that duration of time. And so that date that you're referring to was April 29th of 2023. It was like argument over like small bickering little things, and that whole situation ensued the entire day. So I would say about from 10 a.m. to later on that night. It was a whole thing. And so that specific incident you're speaking of with the weapon, he was like upset. The police had called out before because we had got into an altercation. The neighbor called, and they had came and they dismantled the weapon. They had told him that in the state of Texas, you can't have a open firearm while being like drunk, like while being drunk. And so they took it apart and put it in different parts of the car because he was sitting outside. We had separated like from each other. And so when he came back inside the house, he put it back together. And so he's talking to me, we're still arguing. At that point, I'm packing to leave. He did not want me to leave. He cornered me in the house. He's holding my arms. I have bruises and marks and everything. And he pointed the gun at my stomach while he was talking to me. And he was drunk. So he's like, "Oh, I could shoot you right now," and all this other stuff. And so I'm like freaking out. And that's when I was like, I gotta go. So I had started hyperventilating, and at that point I'm supposed to check the kicking of the baby or all that stuff. And so I called the ambulance and asked them could they send someone to come check the baby before I leave. And they hear him in the background talking loud and screaming and everything at me. And he was pointing the gun in the house, and I'm in the kitchen. I was like, "Can you stop pointing the gun?" When I say that, she's like, "Gun? Ma'am, what do you mean gun?" And so that alerted her, and she said she told me to go into detail what was happening. And I didn't say anything because I was just tired of everything escalating. And so she said if she did not hear anything from me in the next 5 seconds, she was calling the police, and she did. And he left the house, and about 8 officers came, gun drawn, and they breached the whole apartment looking for him. And they went around the area looking for him as well.
There so on 11/9 or 11/8, was there an issue on 11/8, or
Yes.
was that okay? What happened?
That was when my command, that issue, as well as when the NPO was put in place. That's when I was, like I said, leaving to gather my things as well, because I was getting ready to get my own apartment that the domestic violence helped me get. And so the center and I had devised a safety plan. And so at that point, the argument ensued because of Thanksgiving. We weren't spending Thanksgiving with him. That upset him. He's throwing things in the apartment. And I asked him to calm down. He started threatening my family, saying that he would shoot them in their heads, all the types of things. And so at that point, I started gathering Sabrina away, And so he went outside and started tossing my clothes down the apartment staircase. And I couldn't think. I was freaking out. Sabrina's crying. He's screaming. And so I locked him out of the apartment, both locks, so I could get her because I had a safety plan to gather the bags to leave. And he's kicking the door that he kicked it in so much he locked me in from the outside in. So we're both locked. There's no way to open the door. And so I called the police. I called his mother. I called my command and some people on my safety plan as well. He cut off my phone, and because we were on the same phone plan that he paid
Okay.
for, and
Let
he
me go
cut
ahead.
my phone off to the
We're
Wi-Fi.
we need to stick with just the family violence portion of it. So,
Right.
on that day, was he able, did he physically assault you, or is this where he's kicking the door part?
That's the kicking door. But I'm saying if him cutting off my phone was so I wouldn't be able to call anyone. And so that's when I called the police on he had a laptop that we let Sabrina use. I had a Google Voice number that my command told me to use when he cuts off my phone so I don't have access to people. And I got on the laptop and called the police, and they finally came after several hours. That's when he was outside threatening my commander. He threatened to fight my lieutenant colonel, my sergeants, and everyone outside. He threw the doorknob at one of my sergeants out there as well. But the police, when they showed up, they said that pretty much I did a good job of not allowing him to assault me or hurt Sabrina. And so because of that, they couldn't take him to jail, but they instead told me that I should go to let my command take care of everything so there could be some type of consequences.
Is it, do a lot of these incidents involve alcohol?
Yes.
Okay. You and I have spoken about Mr. Miller and what he said as far as going through treatments and different things like that. Do you feel that if Mr. Miller is able to work on his alcohol consumption, it would bring things down substantially as far as the problems?
If he would like, if I would say it depends, because there's been incidents where he's not drinking and he's still aggressive, but there's times where the drinking increases it, is what I would say. But I would say that in alcohol is the big main issue. So yes, it's the same.
Has he ever threatened to kill you?
Yes.
Okay. As far as his relationship with Sabrina, how long was he able to spend around her? How many weeks or months do you think he spent around her?
Maybe that was 1, 2, maybe at the most in the cumulative 3 months.
Okay. Have you gotten into arguments about the baby where he has said that he's not worried about like the baby or what happens with the baby?
Yes.
Okay, what phrases has he said that have been alarming to you?
He's said to me, one, he's talked about terminating his rights. The other conversation we've had is he's left us stranded at the hospital when it's to get her seen because she's not okay. He's told me to find my own way home. He's taken her car seat where I had no way to get home. He's ignored phone calls to make sure like when she's actually had a fever. As well as he's said expletives like F that baby. There's multiple things that he's said as well.
Has he ever bathed Sabrina?
No, he's never he's never showed interest in it when we were living with him. I have a text message as well where I said we need to bathe her. And she was scared of the water. She's too young. The umbilical cord's still intact, and we're supposed to hold her. And he said that we can't.
Sorry, again, you're going way past the question. You know, he hasn't bathed. The answer is no. So that answers the question, ma'am. You don't have to go into detail.
I was trying to explain of the assistance that he's assisted with, but not actually physically bathe her by himself.
That's all you had to say, ma'am. Sorry, again, you don't have to go into detail, all the circumstances. Just tell us the outcome. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Judge.
You may proceed, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Has he changed her diaper before?
Yes.
Okay. how many, I mean, was that a frequent thing, or when you were together, who primarily changed her diapers?
I did.
Okay. Have there been issues with you taking care of the baby and he's doing other things?
Yes.
What other things does he do and when y'all were together where you were concerned about that because you're taking care of the baby and he's doing something?
So, it would be him playing the game, him drinking, or he'll leave the house and go out with his friends, all times of the night, 2-3 hours, like 3 a.m. he'll be gone. I mean, of course, if he had to go to work, that's the obvious duh, but other than that, it's always something else prioritized.
Okay. Do you feel that it would be safe for Sabrina if visitation at this point were unsupervised?
Yeah.
Has she been able to have any kind of video conferencing with him or anything like that?
We've tried in the past.
And what has happened?
She either, I mean, of course, like you said, she can't really hold conversations, but if you hold her interest, like you're talking to her, she will. Either he'll not have interest in it, or she just won't have the conversation. She'll walk away from the phone because there's no like media connection.
Have you looked into so as far as supervising goes, due to the domestic violence between the two of you, you're not going to be able to supervise, right?
Correct.
Do you have anyone in this area who can help supervise?
No.
Is his family well, I'll just say is your family able to supervise?
No.
Did you look into supervision centers?
I did find one. I did.
Okay. And did you find one in Fort Worth through Tarrant County?
Yes.
Okay. Would you ask for visitation to be scheduled as you know through the like supervised visitation?
Yes, if the MPO is lifted, I would say if the supervision has to be done, yes. You're talking about the one we discussed yesterday, right? That
Yes.
specific location. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So and I forgot about the to mention the MPO, but there's currently an MPO and it's still in effect, correct?
Yes.
It is an indefinite MPO, correct?
Correct.
When to your knowledge will that terminate?
I've been given a window like we've had with every court order, that it might be September, but it's still based upon if the board votes to separate him. So if he's not separated.
So let me back you up. So the protective order does not actually end in September. The protective order lasts as long as he's a soldier at this
Right.
point. Okay. And so what you're referencing is the fact that based upon information you have that you suspect that he is being separated from the Army, and then after he's separated, then they will not have that control over him with the military protective order, right? And so at that point, there will not be a protective order. And then at that point, you're asking for it to be supervised, like video and supervised or whatever.
Right.
Okay. The Tarrant County Center, is that because that is close to, and without going into where you're living and because of the non-disclosure issue, but is that close-ish to where you are?
Yes.
Is it the closest that we have as far as supervised visitation center?
Yes, I would say so. That's the only one I know I can find when I look in the county. That's the only one that comes up.
And so you're in the North Texas. You're not here, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I believe we've already covered the support issues. Okay, I passed the witness, Judge.
All right, then, Ms. Betzler, your witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Cusack. So, Ms. Ford, has Sabrina been on Mr. Miller's TRICARE since he was born? Or
Yes.
she was born?
Yes.
Sorry. And you're saying the date of separation was July 2023? Correct?
Yes.
Has he made any cash payments to you since July 2023 for the support of Sabrina?
No.
Do you believe that you would be in danger if Mr. Miller has your contact information?
Yes.
And just to clarify that Tarrant County Supervision, what is it called again?
It's the Tarrant County. Hold on, I have it pulled up. It is the Supervised Visitation Exchanges at Tarrant County Domestic Relations Office.
Tarrant County Domestic.
DRO.
I have the address if you need that.
Is it 100 Houston Street, Fort Worth, Texas?
No, it's 200 East Weatherford Street.
Oh, 100 East Weatherford Street. I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
All right, anything on redirect at this point, Ms. Kuzak?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead and call your next witness then, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I'll call Tiberius Miller. Mr. Miller, can you unmute yourself and put your video on?
Yes, so can I keep the video off? Because it's like I don't have no good service out here, so I don't really know
All right, then that's
if
fine.
that'll like mess it up. Yeah.
All right, that'll be fine for now then, sir. Thank you. We're still state your full name for the record, please.
Tavarius Devon Miller.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Kuzak.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, so you heard the facts that I went over with Miss Ford. You have obviously a different interpretation of what happened, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Starting kind of at the back end of this, do you know anything? What is the current status about your separation from the Army?
My separation with the Army, last I checked, I got the little memo July the 11th, I think, stating that I got my separation board to see if they're going to keep me in or kick me out. What I was told by my legal team and my first sergeant them was that I'm not getting kicked out for domestic violence because it was founded that I didn't.
Okay, sir. Here's the deal. What you're testifying to is like kind of what mom was doing. This is kind of hearsay. Right now, the question is right now, we're just trying to figure out what the separation board when the meeting is.
Okay.
We're waiting for a final determination from them to see exactly what the reason was. If you're terminated, and if you're not, then we can also work around that too. Thank you.
All right, yes, Your Honor. So as of right now, I don't have a exact date of when I'm getting separated, but I did get my separation, like a memo stating that I've been notified that I'm receiving a separation board. Though that's all I got.
So basically,
And
the process is your case is referred to the board, and the board has not met yet, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
And so that memo that you got on the 11th said, as of today, your case is moving forward, that it's
Yes.
referred. And then
Yes.
you don't have a hearing date yet for the board, correct?
Not yet, but what TDS told me was that it could take. I mean, after I received the notification that they have 14 days after the date of me receiving it, that like I have to have a board within 14 days, and that's 14 work days, not including weekends.
So are you saying that 14 business days
Yes,
after
ma'am.
July 11th,
Yes, ma'am.
there might be a board?
Yes, ma'am. There might be a board within the next 14 days after that date.
Has anyone said that previously? Because the last time we were here, we knew that there was a separation that was possible. Has there been a point in the past where you received a letter, but there has not been a board?
No, ma'am. This is the first time that I received notification about a board.
Okay. And so
excuse me real quick. Do you appear before that board, sir, or is this just they meet privately?
It's me and my attorney, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So I just want to make sure you'll be present at the board thing. All right, but you haven't gotten notice of that board review yet, correct?
Not yet, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Kuzak.
Thank you, Judge. And so, is it sometimes in the summer, is it harder to get a hearing date on those things or a board date, meeting date?
Um, it just depends, because I mean, like honestly, I don't know. This is my first time kind of going through it. But
Okay.
I'm gonna guess like summer block leave, it could possibly make it a little bit longer.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like I don't really know. That's like something I don't have an answer to.
Okay. Um, so going over so as far as the separation goes, you can't predict this, but do you feel that you're likely to be separated from the Army?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm most likely going to be separated from the military.
Okay. Um, and then after that, do you have, if you're separated, does it depend on your status as to whether or not you're eligible for, like, if you're separated, are you going to be able to get VA benefits or anything or not?
No, yeah. So I'm not gonna be able to get no benefits from the military. Like they taking away my VA disability, VA home loans, and GI.
GI Bill, okay. Um, so if you are separated, do you have any idea about what your income would be at that point?
Um, no, because I'm getting out with an OTH, so it's gonna be a little bit hard trying to find a job. But I don't have like a set income once I get out. I probably won't have no income once I get out, honestly. But I
So
still
when
gotta pay
you say
child support.
OTH, when you say OTH, you mean other than honorable,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. So not dishonorable, but not a general or honorable, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's what the board is for too, to kind of see if they want to up my separation, basically, like up it up to a general discharge, or if they go just keep it at a OTH.
So if it is a general or, obviously honorable, but if it is a general discharge, will you be eligible for VA benefits and all of that?
Yes, ma'am. They'll give me my VA and my GI and all that back, but if I get out with the OTH, I don't get it, which is what they're recommending right now.
Okay. Um, but your legal team is trying to advocate for a general, probably, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so going over some of these incidents that we talked about in the past, and without going, because we've heard, you heard the court mention that, we need just kind of the facts on these things. What do you dispute about that July 21st incident that Ms. Ford was saying?
So I was playing music loud. I wasn't drinking because I had to go back to work. Like we was preparing to go to the field. That's the one thing that I would dispute.
Okay.
Um, and yes, she grabbed my phone. I grabbed her hand to get my phone back. Like it wasn't to harm her in any way or anything like that. I didn't push her or Sabrina into the book cabinet, and I didn't strangle her. That's really like all it really comes down to. Other than that, though, like police was called, she was arrested. Um, she did give the baby to her friend, but at the time that I was like talking to Rain, like after that incident, she told me that that was her cousin. So I don't really know how that worked or whatever. But and I did text her cousin afterwards, like during that whole little incident, to like check on Sabrina and make sure Sabrina was okay, like make sure like she was doing what she needed to do. Because I mean,
Do
I'm
you
still
know?
her dad.
Okay. Do you know if Ms. Ford had any redness or marks on her?
No, ma'am. And the incident reports from KPD and the officers that were there, um, all three officers stated that Rain didn't have no marks on her. I was the only one who had marks on me.
Did they say that did they each say that she had a red mark on her collarbone? Or
So from what I read, no, but I mean,
All right. Sir, you still have a copy of the incident report? Or do you have a
yes,
copy?
sir. I mean, yes, Your Honor. I got all of them. They gave me my legal packet, so I got all
and
of them.
Judge,
Yeah, you have
Mr. Miller sent that to the court and on like Monday, I believe. But I don't know if they knew where to send it because it didn't have the AG number on it. but he sent to Miss Molina on I think Monday. Is that correct,
you
Mr.
got-
Miller?
Okay. Do you have copies of it, Ms. Kuzak?
I do,
All right.
Judge.
All right. Well, I'll have you. I'll probably have you make copies just in case and email them over to Belinda. But I'll take a look at those later. But at this
And
point,
I can go ahead and forward that once we hit you know, I can do that essentially now.
Okay.
And then so but you don't remember a comment about a red mark on her collarbone, Mr. Miller.
No, not for me at least. Like, so I don't know, like, cause she, like I said, she breastfed and stuff like that. So that could be from anything, like, Sabrina scratching her, anything like that. But like I said, I didn't put my hands on Rain that day. Besides actually like grabbing my phone, like grabbing her wrist to grab my phone out her hand, and that was it.
Okay. So then the look at the get my notes. I was starting an email. The incident about when she was pregnant and with the gun. Do you just do you dispute anything on that?
I mean, I most definitely didn't tell her I was gonna kill her, and I most definitely didn't point my gun at her. But I did have my gun though,
Okay. Did you put it
and
back
like I
together?
was drinking too, but like it wasn't like I wasn't aggressive towards her in any way, and like I even got messages between like me and her to where like she told me like, "Oh, the police is here because this, that, and the third, blah blah this, blah that. Like they think you was
Okay.
like trying to harm me with the gun and stuff like that, and like it just doesn't make sense."
Okay. Then as far as the separation goes, there was something that happened on November 11th, 2023, correct?
November 11th. So
Or
I think
8th?
yeah, it was like around that time, but I think it was November 8th. If I'm looking at these reports, it was November 8th.
Okay. And is that the incident where her chain of command was at your house, and that's one of the things that you're being, either prosecuted on or whatever through the Army?
Yes, ma'am. That's actually the main one that I'm getting kicked out on. Yes, ma'am.
And so is that so when are you saying the separation happened? Like where she was no longer living with you?
November 8th. That was the last time I talked to her
Okay.
of 2023.
And so do you when she testified that she went to her dad's at the end of July through about October, do you agree that that happened?
Yes, ma'am. That did happen. She was there, but we were still talking every day. Um, like just kind of just me checking on Sabrina, checking on her, making sure she was all right, sending her money around that time for stuff that she needed. And that was just really it.
So for August, September, and part of October, she was at her father's in Mississippi, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you say you sent money, do you have any records of that money
So
or?
yeah, I don't got that cash app that I was sending money off of. It got deleted, so I don't got that cash app no more. So I don't technically have the records to send to show that I was sending money.
Okay. How much would you estimate, if you had that cash app, how much would you estimate that you sent her during that 2.5, 2.75 month period?
Probably, I say anywhere between, I don't know, like probably like 1,000, probably like 1,700, probably. Like I don't know, it so long ago that like prices of stuff has changed since then.
Okay. So that's during the August, September, and then October time period of
Yes,
20.
ma'am.
Okay. And then she came back for a few weeks and then she moved out, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, yeah. After that, like we was kind of working on trying to make stuff work, but then that November incident had happened. So, and then that's when we kind of just cut it all off.
Okay, I asked her about bathing and diapers and things like that. Do you agree with what she said, or have you bathed the baby before?
I bathed her, I think it was once or twice, but like I was kind of new to it. Like I don't really know how to like clean like a female properly and stuff like that. So obviously it was just more so like nervousness on like I was actually doing it right. But yeah, that's about correct what she said. Like, with helping change the diapers and stuff like that. And like I barely bathed my daughter. Yes, that's correct.
So when you say you were kind of new to it, you currently do not have any other children other than Sabrina, correct?
Um, like I said, first time I had two kids before Sabrina that passed away, but yeah, I didn't have no other kids currently right now besides
And
Sabrina.
so unfortunately, and both of those children uh died shortly after birth, right? Like due to medical issues, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you said you were new to that, there had been two other children, but you had not done the whole at home
Yeah, couldn't do the
baby
at
care.
home stuff like that. Yeah.
Um, so as far as visitation goes, I asked Ms. Ford about, what she would like to see on visitation. Um, what do you feel is appropriate for visitation?
Um. So honestly,
And we've talked
super,
about this. We talked about this yesterday.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. So like, I don't mind the supervised visitations and stuff like that. Like starting off, like I'm 100% all for it. Like I was just kind of saying yesterday to you and stuff like that is that like I just kind of just want to see my daughter, be in my daughter's life. Kind of already missed a lot, so that's really just all I'm worried about is just seeing my daughter. Like
Um,
I don't care if we
All
start
right.
off supervised or whatever.
so
All right.
yes, Judge.
Okay, sir, if the board separates you, where will you be living, where will you be moving to, sir? Are you gonna remain in Texas? Are you gonna remain in the Central Texas area? What are we talking about, please?
All right, yes, Your Honor. I'm remain in the Central Texas area. I'm from Texas, so like I still reside in Texas.
All right, what's your where in Texas are you from, sir?
So I'm from Hearn, Texas. But I stay like my family stays in Cameron, Texas.
Okay, all right. My fraternity brother and roommate was from Hearn, Texas, so yeah, I know exactly where you are. Okay, thank you then, sir.
All right, yes, sir.
You received this time, Ms. Tuzak. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And so, currently you're still showing your residence as Colleen, especially because of the military stuff, right?
Yes.
But you are going to need the support of your family after separation if that happens, correct?
Um, yes and no. Like I mean I got money saved up. I'm probably gonna try to collect unemployment for a little bit too, just to
Okay.
kind of relax, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. But I'm going to just be down here just to kind of get that stepping stone again, just to kind of figure out what I want to do, like
Okay.
after I get out.
Um, okay. Non-disclosure. Do you agree that it's probably in the best interest of everyone involved, including the child, if you guys don't have to notify each other about contact information changes
Um,
or not? I'm asking if you agree with that. If you don't, then you can say that.
Not yet. I don't really care if she had my number, so I don't agree with it. Like I really don't care.
So you don't care about on your end.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't care about it on my end. Like she can know where I stay at, have my contact information. Like it doesn't matter to me.
okay. Do you feel like the court should allow Ms. Ford to keep her information confidential, or do you feel that it should that she should have to disclose her information?
Yeah, like Miss Ford doesn't feel comfortable with me having her number or address, like I 100% support it. Like I really, like, that's her choice.
Okay. Have you guys used app close before? And I don't know if we've talked about this in this case or not. Do you know what app close is?
No, ma'am, I do not. I think we have talked about it though, but I don't really know what it is.
Okay. Judge,
It's just
I
one
don't
of several. It's one of several parenting apps out there for parties to communicate through instead of using Facebook or there's texting. Everybody has to do everything through the parenting app, and that way it can be it can be verified. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm looking at. But anyway, I'll let you. But for right now, we'll hold off on that. I'm going to let you proceed, Ms. Cusack.
Thank you, Judge. I don't have any further questions right now. I do have one question I forgot to ask Ms. Ford that I would like to recall her on after Ms. Betzler is finished with Mr. Miller, and then we may need to get his take on that situation too. But
All right, well, we
but
got
I'm
a little
gonna-
late start on this one, folks. So I got 11:30 coming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Ms. Betzler do hers, and then I'm probably gonna have to I hate to do it like this, but it'll take about 40 minute recess while I do my pre-trial on the other matter. So anyway, so Ms. Betzler, let's go ahead and I'll let you take the witness, and then like I say, we'll do a recess, and then I'll go take care of my other matter. Thank you. Okay.
Mr. Miller, I just have one question. So, well, two. You guys were separated in July 2023, correct?
No.
No, she lived with her father in July 2023, right?
Well, yeah, but we were still in a relationship technically, yeah, but we didn't stay together for those 3 months, I guess
Okay.
you can say.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
mean.
okay. Yeah, yes.
Now, has the amount that you've been paid changed since from July 2023 till present?
No, I can't receive raises while I'm flagged.
And Sabrina's on your TRICARE, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Walsh is here. Anything on direct, Ms. Cusack?
No, Your Honor. Except for the one issue I wanted to ask Ms. Ford about, and then give Mr. Miller an opportunity to respond.
Okay, and the other thing I need, does anybody have a copy of the military PO? Executive order?
I do, Judge. Would you like for me
All
to
right.
send it to Ms. Molina?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
All
I
right.
will.
All right, and so you said you had one other question you wanted to run by the mother, Ms. Ford?
I do, and I hesitate to like say this, make this promise, but this is kind of a quick one.
Right.
It's up
All right,
to
go
the court. I can.
Oh, okay, go right ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Ford, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes.
Okay, was there also an incident that you told me about the baby and Mr. Miller being frustrated with her for crying?
Yes. So the times, like I said, you were asking about with him helping with her, I asked him to keep her so I can clean up the room, and he was playing the game, got frustrated with it, and I come into there, he's holding her up in his face, and he's screaming at her for crying, and that's when I took her, and from that point on, kind of kept her closer to me.
And would that have been when she was, would that have been in that July, like after her birth,
Yes.
like within
Yes.
4 weeks
Yes.
before she left? Okay. Okay. I don't have any other questions of this witness, Judge.
All right, all right, guys. Again, sorry for this. Yeah, we I wanted everybody to get their ducks in a row, so so we could let everybody talk for a while, and we got started a little late. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do a recess. I set it 11:30 for a pre-trial to see see if there are any discovery problems. So this one shouldn't take too long. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a recess, and I'll come back on. Somewhere between 12 and 12:15. I'm going to go ahead and make you host for right now, Ms. Betzler, and I'm going to log off. And once I come back in, I'll take everything else back over, and we'll proceed and wrap this one up. All right, thank you. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and stop the record. Okay.
Not Mr. Judge, will you make Walter a host so that because he's probably better at it than I am, Your Honor?
All right, well, is he gonna be around the whole time, Mr. Will?
He's
Your Honor, I'm here to actually was to talk about the next special, Your Honor. So
11:30?
yeah, so Your Honor, the reset order had 11 o'clock as the time to
Oh, I
appear.
thought it was 11:30. Sorry. Okay.
And so Mr. Brimhall and Mr. Higginbottom been emailing me. Mr.
Okay, well, let's
Brimhall,
get. Okay, let's go. I'm getting ready to go over there and I'll start that one, and I want to make you host, ma'am. So let's do it. Thank you.
And we'll be back on the record at 12 or after.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Bill, I'm on my way. I'll start it, and I'm gonna take a break, but I'll start everything, get everything going. Okay, thank you.
and yes, Your Honor, just one last thing, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Mr. Higginbottom says that he has a conflicting setting at 11:30 with Judge Motz, but that he's available in the afternoon.
All right, well, let's get in there. Let's find that out. Thank you.
And as a side note, Judge, I just sent, I had it listed twice on there. I think they may be two different drafts of it, but I just sent Ms. Molina the military protective order.
Okay, yeah, she brought it out. She said she already brought me out. They brought it out for me. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Miss Ford, are you there?
Oh yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, then we'll get right back on the record then. Thank you. Here we go. All right, we're back on the record, and this is again Bell County College number 23 DFAM 342,729, with non-custodial party being Tavares, custodial party being Rain Ford, and Ms. Cusack, you were going to go give Mr. Ford the opportunity to make another recall him and to ask him either more questions or to have him get him the chance to clarify anything. So you may proceed with that at this time, and Mr. Miller, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Miller, you heard the question before. I asked Ms. Ford about the time where she alleges that you were holding Sabrina and you were mad at her for yelling, for crying, and you yelled at her. Do you remember that? Is that what you remember, or do you remember something differently?
I don't even recall that. But I've never yelled at her in any aggressive manner though. So
Okay. Okay. I have no further questions, Judge.
All right, then, Ms. Betzler, any questions of either witness, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. All right, guys. I was trying to get I was going to list the closing statements about we're trying to make this as final as possible, but with Mr. Miller's face still out there, because obviously things are a lot different if he gets general discharge instead of other than honorable, because all of a sudden he still has all his VA benefits and everything else, so that changes a lot going forward. And if he doesn't get expelled, then yeah, then that's the best of all possible scenarios, but I don't think that was going to happen. But again, we really need to know what his discharge from the Army is going to look like. And sir, I was thinking that this wasn't going to happen until probably September, but you're saying they're supposed to do it in the next couple of weeks. But you know, I've never been in the Army, but I was an Army brat for all my life. So yeah. And these guys sometimes don't exactly do things they do things on their schedule. Let's put it that way. All right. So you say that they had to do it within 14 business days of them notifying you. We're probably day number 8 or 9 by that right now. Are we not, Ms. Kuzak?
The letter was dated July 11th. So we're about 7 days.
We're on day 5. We're on day okay. Let me bring up my calendar because I know we just finished up a weekend. So so and of course everything was a week from the 4th of July. That was Friday. Okay. So that means we're only in day number 5 right now. So obviously they got 9 more days at minimum because they're supposed to do something. And that 9 days doesn't include the 2 days of the next weekend. So we're in day 5. So next week that'll be Friday. That will be so the 6 and 5 more 11. So they look like they got to about the 30th to do something on that. And then again, that doesn't mean they're not going to extend it further. Okay, ma'am, we don't raise hands. I was gonna give you a chance to make a statement in a moment, but I'm trying to just figure out what I'm gonna do with the math. All right, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, you got a question? You got a comment to make, please, Ms. Ford?
I was gonna say about the dates. According that I was gonna say what my attorney for the case that's going on. She was saying that she gave the timeline of that end of August, beginning September, because the defense attorney schedule is very booked up right now, far as the one that's on the prosecutor for his case. So that's why she gave that
Okay.
timeline.
All right, then. So again, Sarah, we're probably looking at something that's going to be, I don't think you're going to get this done by the end of this month. So, because yeah, that's the one thing I remember about the United States Army. Dad came home in the summer because he got 30 days leave. Okay, so yeah, so you let the special forces guy come home from Panama. Okay, so yeah, for 30 days, and so I know a lot of people do that 30-day leave in the summer in the military. I'm assuming that's still a thing. So, but right now, I got an idea what I would like to do, but a couple of things are going to very, very, very much depend on what happens with you, sir. It has to. There's no way around that. Because
All right.
I'm not even sure if you can get unemployment if you get other than honorable. Okay, that you should, because obviously the money's still being they're supposed to send the money into the unemployment agency, even though that's based on your salary. So that should be a problem. But I have never looked at that before. But have you checked with with Texas Workforce Commission about what your unemployment would be, sir?
No, Your Honor, not yet. So I mean, not yet. No, I haven't
Okay.
checked.
And obviously you're going to remain in Texas because this is your home. If you go, are you thinking about moving back to Hearn, or are you gonna stay around here, sir?
So I'm actually gonna end up moving to Houston after I get Katy, Texas after I get out. But like I said, it's just gonna be kind of whenever that happens. Like, but I'm gonna be in Cameron, Texas, probably like 2, 3 months at most.
All right, so you're looking at being in Cameron for a couple of months and then moving to Katy. You're on my way. That's my trip to Houston to go to law school. So I used to go to all those. So yeah. But anyway, are you looking at a position in Katy?
Um, yeah, I was looking like at HVAC and stuff like that out there. They make pretty decent money, and that's kind of what I was looking at. But like I said, my mind is just kind of going everywhere with what I want to do job wise.
All right, do you have an HVAC license already, sir? An HVAC certification or anything at this point?
No, Your Honor. I was trying to work with it through the military, like trying to do I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's like basically the training before I get out. But since I'm getting an
Okay.
OTH, like I have to do it on my own once I get out.
All right, fair enough then. All right, folks. So, Ms. Kuzak, do you have anything else you want to add? Because looks like again, folks, I hate to do it, but I think I got the testimony I need. I got everything I think I need to make a ruling going forward. Right, yeah, 2-year-old, yeah, if you're going to get a 2-year-old to pay attention to you on an iPad, FaceTime more than 5 minutes, you're going to be in a clown suit and you're going to be dancing around the room and flipping and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, but I am looking at doing, but the older they get, the more they'll appreciate it, and they can stay on longer and longer. And that's why I usually make it when they're under the age of 4, only for 30 minutes, and I do that at least once a week. At least once a week, Sundays. That's usually works best for everybody. But again, I don't know your schedules, and we'll take a look at that. But for right now, we still got the protective order in place. It's not going to go out of place until he's out of the military. So I don't want to do anything that's going to get anybody violated on that. So for right now, I'm just looking at leaving everything as is and setting this for a pre-trial in September. Ms. Kuzak, do you have any your September dates when you're already going to be here on Zoom?
I can
And
look, Judge.
pre-trial means I'm going to get an update, and that way I can set it for a quick final hearing and make all my rulings. So yes, ma'am.
I can check on that. I'll just add when you made the clown comment. I keep this in my drawer for
Oh nah.
when I
You've been going to Walgreens on Red Nose Day?
that's what my mom gave me. I have a yellow one in there somewhere too, but it does actually work sometimes. So Judge, I do have some dates in September, but and of course any Thursday is good. So if you want to do a pre-trial as like a side on a Thursday,
Oh yeah. Okay.
then I'll be available at any time. The dates
Okay,
that I
well,
have in
I'll tell you what
September.
I'll do. I'll keep this as keep this Zoom code, and I'll put this at 12 at instead of bringing y'all in and make y'all sit through my boring speech in the morning. I'll set this at 10:15, and that way we can do this after I get through with the morning docket call. So let me get up my Zoom. Let me get up Zoom again.
I can be available pretty much on any Thursday. The dates that I have in September with you so far are all ones that are either special settings on a Wednesday or enforcements on a Wednesday. So
All right. I got a general docket on the 11th. See, that's after Labor Day, so things will calm down. People should be back to work a little bit better by then. So I got 11. I got a general docket on the 11th. I can set this Zoom code at 10:15. And again, at that point, that's a general docket date, folks. So I got 20, 30 cases that day. So, but it's 10:15, and nothing's started yet. And we can come in and we can see what the latest update status is on that. And then I can see about sneaking y'all in on and I'll go ahead at this point and make a couple of holding spots for later on the Thursdays that I have special settings. Like I said, I got a special setting date on the 8th, the following week on the 18th, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a slot on that one for the morning just in case. I don't think we're gonna need longer than an hour and a half to finish anything up on this one unless there's a bunch of new data we gotta take care of. But for right now, folks, I'm looking at just keeping everything as is with the temporary order. I'm looking at going ahead and coming back here on the 11th of September at 10:15 a.m. And if everything looks like it's if we got some final answers by then, I'm going to have a special setting set up for you guys already at 9:30 a.m. on the 18th for an hour and a half, and we'll wrap this up on the 18th. But again, if y'all don't have if it's not settled by then we'll make the appropriate reset until Mr. Miller's circumstances confirmed with USA. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll start with you, Mr. Miller. Question, sir.
Now that's really so. All right, the only question I probably do got, Your Honor, is so if I do get more information, I still send it to Ms. Kuzak now
Yeah.
and stuff like that, right? And
Yeah.
then would it be able to, like, I guess, make it faster, or would it still be those dates, the 11th and the 18th?
I tell you what, if they come up with something about the 30th, like your time frame says, then let Ms. Kuzak know that we can get back in earlier. If they coming in later, like Ms. Ford thinks they are, then we'll then that if they don't, if they're not going to do anything until August, then we'll just use the September. If they get something done by the 31st day of July, just let Ms. Kuzak know, and we'll find a spot sometime in August to get this wrapped up. All right.
All right. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ford, any questions, ma'am?
No, nothing really. Just well, except I did ask before, I don't know her name, but we were talking about I'm planning to move, and so I was asking just to keep you guys
Okay.
updated with that.
All right, well, when and where? I just need to know the county.
It's more likely going to be out of state.
All right, are you still in the military?
Yes, I'm in the reserves.
All right, then. And where are you from, ma'am?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, are you looking at moving back there?
No.
Okay. Which state are you looking at possibly moving to, ma'am?
Virginia.
Oh, geez, you people can't get away from friends and family. Where in Virginia?
Like Fort Belvoir.
Oh, okay. All right then. And I'm sorry, my military life was Bragg, Benning, and Sam. So where?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a unit that's more. I'm in an MI unit now, but I'm trying to find a more MI related.
All right, then we'll we'll get an update on you also. Again, we never put geo restrictions on military personnel because that's not like I said. You tell it. Yeah. When you're military, you gotta go. You gotta go. So I get it now.
Yeah.
But just keep Ms. Kuzak informed, but you'll get at least what 60, 90 days notice before you have to transfer out now.
Yeah, it's gonna be ADOS orders, so that's what it's like. I'll know ahead of time.
Okay. All right, then. So if that looks like it's going to be a circumstance, we'll work around that. And I'll have Ms. Kuzak get the information about I keep wanting to call it. I almost said birthing center, and I know that's sure as heck not right.
Supervision center.
I'm sorry?
Supervision Center, Judge?
Yeah, yes, sorry. Yeah, I was talking to somebody who's getting ready to do that and the other day, and that's stuck in my brain again. Now, Judge is way past birthing centers in his life, so yeah, we're good. But anyway, I'll let you get the information on that and see what the costs are, and sir, and based on that information, and again, no matter what, look like you got to travel there. I'll try to make some circumstances more financially based on that. But again, I've gotta have, I usually don't like doing that until I got a history of somebody doing it. But because we gotta hit the ground running on this one, I'll probably do a little something, to make sure that, you at least have some, the funds to do this, once a month, to go see your daughter and, be able to make sure it's taken care of, because, I know the one here, locally requires that you pay for so many hours, and, obviously this one looks like it's when you're dealing with a large metropolitan area, like I said, they got separate doors for everybody. That's well beyond what we have here. But we'll get that information and try and until the Army knows something, I can't even, until the Army lets you know something, sir. I'm just not comfortable doing anything that may jeopardize you getting what you need to do to get out of the military. So I'm going to be real careful about not setting anything up until I know what your final circumstances are. So. All right, ma'am. Just let Ms. Kuzak know if you get orders, and where is that fort located? What is it close to in Virginia?
I'm not sure. I just know it's Fort Belvoir. That's all I know.
So I got family in DC, Baltimore, and in Richmond. So yeah, I've been in the area several times. I never remember seeing that sign. So yeah. All right, but anyway, that's what we're looking at, guys. I will see y'all.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Your Honor, but I wanted to make sure it's September the 11th at 10:15 a.m. with the same Zoom code as today.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the final is set for September the 18th at 9:30 a.m. with the same Zoom code as today.
Yeah, I'll move. Remind me on that date to move. I'm going to go ahead and put a holder there, which will be a brand new Zoom code. But I want to move this Zoom code to that spot as soon as I'll delete that one and move this one if everything's cleared up with Mr. Miller by then. Okay.
So the
But it will
reset
be the
just
same
needs to
Zoom
be for
code.
September
It's
the
gonna be
11th.
the same. Yeah, it's going to be the same Zoom code no matter what. But again, if he's not finished by September the 11th, then yeah, then obviously I'll kick that hold and I'll come in late that day. Yeah. So.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, everybody. Everybody be safe out there. This has been some crazy weather we had in Texas, but I think the real summer's showing up. So everybody be safe, and I will see everybody in September. And good luck to you, sir. I hope it works out for you. All right.
All right, yes, Sean. Thank you.
All right, then. All right, we're off the record, folks. Everybody's free to go. And Ms. Kuzak, you don't have anything in the afternoon, do you?
I do, Judge. I have a 3:15.
You have 3:15. Okay, well, I'll see you then. Thank you. Ms.
Yes,
Metzler?
sir. Thank
Can
you.
y'all be looking out in your emails for the reset to
Yes,
sign
ma'am.
the reset?
Yes, ma'am. I will.
Thank you.
All
Okay, bye everyone.
All right, take care. And we're off the record. And like I said, I'm going to make that reset immediately, guys.